Jeff, what do you have to say for yourself?
At least it's running.
Turn the wheel to the right. Hard right. Hard right. Hard right. Hard. No, the other right. Your right. And then look, the boat motor turns the other way. Oh, trash. Oh, dang. Well,
you should have put it in the right way.
he should have put it in the right hole. So, if you look under here, when we put the new steering box in, I've never messed with them. So, we obviously figured it out that we put the cable into the wrong one. So we got to pull that out tonight, feed it back through into the other one, and then we can run it in there. So this will be a teaching moment for everybody. You know, we're learning. We don't claim to be experts. But anyways, I guess we're headed to the house. We're going to figure this out. All right. So this morning here at Damn Skippy, we got our new steering cable. We got a new shift cable. Throttle cable was still good. So we broke it on the way back into the control box because the plastic piece was brittle for one of the Gen 1 cables. So anyways, so when we adjusted it in, Jeff took care of that because I was busy. What did you find? What happened?
Well, I did find that when I got it from here to there, I hooked this side up first and realized it was a big gap. And then I realized I didn't hook it up there first. So for anybody doing this, make sure you hook it up there first. Then when you get it back,
because why? All the adjustments on the back, right?
Yeah.
Let's pop that cover and let's show them what we're talking about here.
Yeah, all your adjustments are going to be on your back.
So yesterday, when we went out on the river to check this thing out, as we go out on the river, we realized we're like, oh, okay, well, we got to do that for the steering because the steering is backwards. Because we went in, there's two sides to that steering box. To where if you turn it either way, you know what I mean? To where the cables come out this side, you turn it, you put it into the one we put it in. It goes into the top, people. Just so you're all aware, we weren't. This is the first time messing with cable steering. I'm poor. I used to the tiller drive stuff, or on my big boat back there, we got the hydraulic. So, and I haven't even had to mess with that yet, thankfully. Knock on wood, anyways. But you can see here, we've got the adjustment, right? That's all threaded right there. And you can see all those threads. So you can adjust that little piece that's in there, little gray piece. Right, and so you yeah, there you go. So you can adjust that piece. And what we did was, when Jeff put it on, because I was busy, I couldn't come down and help. Jeff put it on. He was, yesterday when we were trying to put it in gear, it was starting to rev up before it went into gear. And when we go into reverse, same type thing. So we're like, wait a minute, something's going on here. And I said, Jeff, did you adjust that and match it? He said, I adjusted it to where it fit. And that's where we start with.
Yeah, so you don't adjust to where it fits. I took my old cable that was on here, that was factory from the boat, and I matched it. So if you look here, this was not adjusted, this was not changed, and it just has about maybe, I don't know, 10 threads maybe, 12 threads. And it has no, so I took it back.
And compared it to this one?
And compared these two and said, okay, well, there's my problem. So then I backed it back, put it in, and put it on. Then if it still is doing the rev or whatever, you just back off a thread or two till you get it to where it flattens out.
To where it goes in just right.
Yep.
Now, you got a throttle, you got your shift. This is for your forward and reverse, this is for your throttle. So, Jeff, go up there and work the, let me see if I can get the angle right so where you can see working both of them at the same time. Go ahead and shove that thing into forward. And let's watch this thing. Here, let me back over here to the side so I can see in the video here. Here we go. All right, so see how that throttle one doesn't move, and yet we're coming into gear. So go ahead, Jeff, go ahead and push her on in. All right, now you see the throttle one move after the fact. All right, so back off that throttle real slow. Let's go into reverse. Let me put her in gear there. Go ahead and give her some throttle in reverse. See, there we go. All right, so we're learning.
Yeah, we learn every day.
This is something that, I mean, it comes second nature to me because I'm used to using these same type cables on race cars, automatic shifters. I'm used to, you know, my truck back there, that truck right there, It's got an aftermarket transmission in it, an old style 4-speed instead of the 6-speed, and I had to adjust the cable in just right to get the shifter to work. So we're learning. Now our next thing that we want to show is, Jeff, turn that wheel to the left. All right, now let's turn that thing to the right.
Take it back now, y'all.
Well, now we know we got to take that thing loose. So our steering's backwards. So if you really dislike somebody and you want to play a practical joke on them, just go ahead and do that to them when they're on the boat. Hopefully they don't come up to full speed before they figure out what's going on. But anyways, we're going to get this cable switched out. And we got to fix one last thing here. The shifter's a little loose, but I want to show y'all something. We're going to come up, I got a whole nother video on this too. See that wire right there? That wire is broken. That is for the tilt and trim. We were trying to figure out, we're like, why the hell is it not working? Why is it not working? Switch that back and forth there, Jeff. Y'all can hear it. Let it go. Back her off. Nothing. So we found we had a broken wire there. Now, easiest way that I found it, because when I flipped it over, all I saw that green color there. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm coming up on my high for my coffee.
Not again.
So, anyways, we're gonna fix that while we're there, and try and get that settled. And what else do we need to do while we're here? I think we're pretty much. As soon as we fix that, we'll be ready to go test ride this thing again. We got the console all in. Give that thing a nice little wrap on there, nice and hard. So take that steering wheel, tweak it just a little bit. You see that's not moving the console. That's moving the shaft in there. Look at that. Do it one more time. Yeah, see? So now we don't have a rotten steering anymore. So rotten console helping with the steering being more janky. And we got a new cable. So the cable, we got to grease that up a little bit more. We got the Zerk fitting on the front there. Our grease gun gave out on us, but at least we got a little extra there so we can just take a dab with our finger and put it on as we're going. So we'll get that fixed while we're here, and then we'll be ready to go. You see how we got this other one in here? One thing we wanted to say is, you can see that is a zinc bolt. That's a zinc bolt right there in the middle. That screw, those are zinc. We tried our best to get rid of some of those zinc ones and go back with stainless. So when we bought the stainless ones here and for over there, we also bought stainless for there and stainless for the 3 little bolts that go in right there and there and there to hold that in. So granted, we bought a kit to do this with, but it came with zinc bolts, and lo and behold, we know what happens to zinc bolts when we put them in a boat, especially in salt water. So, you know, spend the extra time, spend the extra couple minutes and go ahead and go up to the local hardware store and get what you need. So anyways, we're gonna keep on going. We'll come back in a minute. All right, we got to be quick because we're running out of memory on the phone here. So you see how it's got 2 holes in that, right? You got 1 hole in the top, 1 hole in the bottom. When we put it in, Jeff said, "Oh, it went in the bottom one." We didn't know. We couldn't remember. It has been 5 months since we took this thing out. So now we're taking it out of there. So you got your 2 different positions, and you see it's got that little spot on the cable there for the bolt to lock it in. Yep, right there. And those bolts go through that. So go ahead and finish peeling that thing out of there real quick, Jeff. And then we just put it back in the other side. And then there's a feed tube that on the other side here.
It has the same thing on it.
It has the same thing on it there, so that it can hold itself in there. And then it's just got a cap on there so that your cable can't get nasty and get a bunch of gunk in there. So now we know, okay, we're gonna be putting that back together and we're gonna be a-okay.
All you do is feed it in and turn your shaft, and then it
just twist it.
Then it goes to your spot, and once you get it there, you lock it in with your bolts.
That just slides in that hole. It's already got some hex stuff on the bottom there, so it holds it in place, right? So all you got to do is have a nut for the back side and put her on one side. All right, well, we'll come back in a minute. All right, let's have a little test drive before we
Well, let's see Let's see if we screwed it up this time. Oh, look, right goes right.
Hey, you know those bikes at the circus where you like got to get on it and it like the handlebars turn opposite ways? Did you want a clown car boat? What was the deal? All right, so that's fixed. All right, so I was trying to say it earlier on an upcoming video. We're going to show you. You see, we've got our old date on there, 2012 for the trigger. We got brand new wiring for the stator, and we still got to clean this up a little bit. But we put a new CDI box on it because we were out with the tiller drive and we had a problem, and we couldn't get it back to the dock. So as we're like cruising along, all of a sudden it just cut off. Tried to recrank it, wouldn't crank. We said okay. We let it sit for 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden it cranked back up again. We're like, oh, okay, all right, maybe we just flooded it. So then we came home and we couldn't get it. So right before we got to the dock, it was late night. We were out shrimping with the tiller drive, and Jeff had the anchor. He's like, I'll just throw the anchor about 10 times. So he's like throwing the anchor about 10 times, and I'm just sitting in the back being lazy, and you know, just paying attention to where we're going. So anyways, I looked down and I said, wait a minute, we're idiots. We have the gigs. So we pulled ourselves in to the boat ramp.
2 foot of water.
Well, it was deeper than that, but it was right by the boat ramp. So we pulled ourselves to the dock. We came home. We couldn't get this thing to start. So we're like, oh, okay, we don't have any spark. CDI box. Okay, well, CDI box wasn't bad. That didn't fix it. So then I'm sitting there and I said, well, let me go on the internet. I'll find out how to test the stator, how to test the trigger. So we're going to show y'all how to test that, how to figure it out, and then I mean, we replaced that stator and the trigger at the same time, because when we tested the trigger was showing out of range. The stator was showing out of range. So I think we had a combination of everything, because when we did have the boat running, it was kind of missing a little bit, you know. So the trigger handles sending the signal to the CDI box, which sends a signal out to each coil. The stator is what produces the power to send there. So anyways, we're gonna show y'all how to fix that and how to mess with that, and hopefully be able to keep some people on the water, because it was our first time messing with it and we learned a lot. So we're gonna pass that along.
It's been a long 5 months.
Yeah.
Ready to get back on the water.
Yeah. But see, if we'd have just had the tiller drive, if we'd have fixed it right back then, we still had the tiller drive set up. Yeah. But we went ahead and got our fiberglass work done. So we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get this thing put back together. We'll go take it for a test ride. All right, guys, we're ready. We got our tilt and trim working again. We got some of those heat shrink connectors. I don't love using these, I really don't, but currently at the moment that's our only option, because those wires from the corrosion, the wire casing being split, the insulation on it, from that casing being split, it had some corrosion on the wires. So trying to solder to those wires, it would not solder. The solder wouldn't stick right. You'd have to do a whole bunch of other prep, and I know that people have got ways of doing that, but for now, that's gonna work for us. So anyways, we're about to go down to the river. What do you say, Jeff? You happy?
Yeah, let's go get into the water.
Boat's almost done. The only thing we got left to put back on is the windshield for it to be back where it was, and then we're gonna come back and do some speakers and some whatnot and get all the new wiring harness ready. So we got the battery turned, we got our cables are all in, everything's ready to go. So we'll get our transducer wiring ran up in so that we can have that mounted. We'll get our power wire for that and get everything ready to go. So let's go take this thing for a ride.
Let's go.
Well, we decided to live dangerously, letting the kid drive. Everything's good. It's all good in the hood. Just out here on the river. Teaching the kid how to drive, doing a little test drive. All right, well, I think that's...
You always put the nose into the wake. You never go into a wake sideways.
All right, well, I guess that's a call on a wrap for this one.
That's it.
Y'all keep it safe on the water. We're out.